listeners सुन रहे हैं 1550 AM पर रेडियो जिंदगी and this is the hour जब हम बात करते हैं आपके बारे में about what's happening in your life and how can you take control of it, how can you make it better. And I have somebody with me right now who can help you make it better. Yes, Dr. Saket Bhatia is right here with me. Dr. Saket Bhatia, who is an internationally renowned scientist, astrologer, I would say scientist, because obviously the research he's putting into this field is definitely commendable. So Dr. Bhatia has PhD in astrology and is a certified numerologist. Over 25 years of experience in this field of astrology and has more than 12,000 satisfied clients globally. He's also a senior board member of International Association of Vedic Astrology and Numerology, which is IVAN. And Dr. Bhatia is also recently awarded by PM Narendra Modi for his knowledge and guidance in the field of astrology. His clients include the top industry leaders, film stars, politicians, and many, many more. आप भी उनमें से एक हो सकते हैं, being a satisfied client, I mean. जरूर कांटेक्ट कीजिए डॉक्टर भाटिया को if you are going through anything or if you have any question about your horoscope, about your kids horoscope, या फिर आप जानना चाहते हैं what's in future for you. He is the right person. कांटेक्ट करना बहुत आसान है, saketbhatia.com. That's the website with his first and last name, saketbhatia.com. Or you can call him directly 408-639-5300. Or if you have any question, we are live in the studio and we will be taking calls, but about in 10 minutes. 510-770-1550. That's the studio line number, but we will be taking calls in 10 minutes. With that, hello and welcome, Dr. Bhatia. How are you doing today?
I am doing fine, Vedika. Good afternoon, all listeners. And thank you for that introduction you keep doing for me.
I know, I almost made you a scientist.
Actually, I was at one point of time. I really was.
See, it was meant to be.
Yeah. So at one point of time, I was doing a lot of research. My main background before astrology used to be semiconductor device physics, electromagnetics. तो उसमें बहुत research किया हुआ है.
Wonderful.
RF frequencies, wireless communication. So खैर अब तो scientists नहीं रहे. Now we are doing astrology, which is actually even more difficult.
Is it?
I think so. Because जब research कर रहे हो, you're doing it in a field which is, always to benefit mankind, right? Research is not done to hurt humanity. It's done to benefit, but it is done for your own self also. अगर हो गया, you're successful, great. नहीं होता है, then it's a setback, right? But astrology, somebody's life is at stake. So that is always more tricky. In research, you can come up with things that have never been done before. In astrology, there are rules. ऐसा है तो ऐसा होगा. वैसा है तो वैसा होगा. It's interpretation, right?
Rightly said, yes.
And I want to clarify one more thing for all the people listening to this show. Astrology is about possibilities. Okay, so if I look at sun in your 10th house, I can give you a possibility. Maybe you can get a government job. It's a possibility. अगर आपका 10th lord 8th house में आता है, maybe you can do insurance. Maybe you can do, that kind of business profession. But that is a possibility because at the end of the day, there is something bigger than astrology, bigger than possibility, which is you. It is your life. It is your free will. Very interestingly, किसी ने मुझे पूछा, अगर astrology chart में divorce दिखता है, then why should we do this 36 gun matching? What is the purpose? I said, astrology में कभी भी divorce नहीं दिखता. It's a possibility. So when we study astrology notes, there's something called separative planets, They say, if so-and-so aspect is there, this degree, this house, there is a chance that you will lose your partner. You will separate. There is a chance you can get separated from kids, from your own health, from your parents. There is a possibility. There is no guarantee. In fact, we say that when we study the chart from the ascendant, sun and moon, we say that there is a likelihood that it may happen. The word may is used because at the end of the day, you have to decide what you want to do. आपको partner के साथ रहना है कि नहीं is your choice. Correct? So anybody who comes and says this will happen is completely rubbish. No. You are the human being. You will make your decision. You will make the choice. and choose wisely, because everything you do today is based on information that you have available today. Correct?
Correct.
Astrology के भी 3 part होते हैं.
अच्छा.
The first part is analysis and reading.
Hmm.
The second part is prediction. And the third, most difficult part is explanation to the person what you have read and what is going to happen, whether he likes it or not. They have to
Hmm.
accept that this is in store for them, right?
Right.
I had a show in New York today. We had more than 10 calls. I was telling you before the show started.
Right.
Lots of people kept calling. Should I do business? Should I work for somebody? What do you recommend? Should I become a doctor, or should I go in the medical field, or should I become a dentist or an engineer? I said, what do you want to do? चार्ट दिखाती है कुछ, बट आपको क्या करना है? So
जी.
the very first step is we have to ask you, आपको लाइफ में क्या करना है? आप कितना जा सकते हो आगे? Because it's all based on that. Then we will tell you where you will get your satisfaction, where you will get your happiness, where you will get your fulfillment. Everything else is only secondary. Believe me, some people are happy in a small house, and
Hmm.
some people will not even be happy in a mansion. So
That's
learn
so
to be
true.
a person who is happy in a small house, because life chal jati hai अच्छी आपकी, right?
Wonderful, wonderful note. And with that, I would like to remind listeners the Saket Bhatia Astrology Show is on. And this is the show जहाँ पे आप अगर ध्यान से सुनेंगे तो आपको ज़रूर कुछ ना कुछ आपके काम की चीज़, something which can help you in your life, you will get it. So do tune in every Tuesday. आप सुनते हैं लाइव डॉक्टर भाटिया को 4 से 5 बजे के बीच रेडियो जिंदगी पर. And अभी we are opening the studio lines if you have any questions. 510-770-1550. That's the studio line number. You can give us a call if you have any question. And if it's a astrology related question, be ready with the date, time, and place of birth. So we have a caller. Can we quickly take a call?
Sure.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia.
Yes,
Hello, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
You're on air, sir.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Madhya.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just want to confirm my basic this one ascendant. Because I think if I put it in some places, it basically says Libra ascendant.
I'm actually having a very hard time hearing him. Can you hear him, Vedika?
No, your voice is not clear, sir.
Oh, okay. Is it better now?
Yeah, we can try again.
Okay. So my daughter, I wanted to look at what is my ascendant for my daughter specifically.
I can't understand anything.
No. Maybe can you try again? I don't know why the voice is
Can you
not
take it
clear.
off
We
the
can't.
speaker or
Is it
something?
better
We
now?
can't understand you.
Yeah, are you on speaker? I think he may be dialing again. Let's take another call.
Okay.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia.
Hello, Mr. Bhatia. How are you?
Good, good. See, this is so clear. How are you doing? In your name?
Good, good, good. Yeah, my name is Rajkumar, but I have one very odd question. My daughter was born in the Caribbean island where we don't have these kind of facility to make astrology charts and everything. So how you can help us in that way? I don't want to know a Rashi, then further I can call you, if it's possible or not.
You can make a chart wherever she's born. That is easy. That's not a problem at all. Why don't you just go on my website, go to saketbhatia.com, वहां पर go check how you make your free chart. कुंडली free बनती है. Go make it. She'll come to know your ascendant. No, nothing difficult. देखिए, when a chart is made, it is written in stone. This is what you're born with. Now she's living in USA, so the planets are in transit. Planets are moving, right? So we just overlap today's planets on her chart, and that will either increase or decrease. That's it. That's how
If
astrology
I
is
give you
going
the
to be.
birth place and can you help me with a question? I was not sure that part.
What is her date of birth?
October 4, 2002,
October 4th, 2002. Okay.
7:24 p.m.
7:24 p.m. So that's 1924. Okay. And place
And
of birth?
place is Saint Martin.
It's a beautiful place.
Oh yeah, it is. It's a heaven on earth. Like God was free. She just
Why
sprinkled
did you come
a
here?
picture on the earth for her future.
For her future. Which country is this in?
This is in Caribbean island, West Indies.
West Indies.
It's a Dutch and French. It's a small island. Half is Dutch, half ruled by the French.
Okay, I'm going to have to try to pull this out, right? I'm just not able to find the Saint Martin here right now. I mean, I could, but
Okay.
I'm just not able to see it in the country list.
Yeah, that's why they're not exacting. That's why longitude and latitude, all the things I was trying. That's why I called to see if it's possible or no.
No. I don't want to. I don't want to, just hang up. I want to see how we get this done. This is not part of the. It's कौन सी country में आएगा ये? Just Caribbean, right? Caribbean islands.
It's a Netherlands Antilles. Before it was a Netherlands Antilles. You can see, and the Netherlands Antilles.
Netherlands entry.
Yeah,
That's
Netherlands.
it. See, now you made my life easy. Okay.
Yeah, Netherlands Antilles. Martin.
Okay, so now I got it. Now what do you want to know? She's an Aries ascendant.
Yeah, I want to know her Rashi, and I don't want to know how her future studies will be. I don't know that. Once I
I'm
know
able
what
to see
Rashi
only
is,
one
I
or
don't
two.
know.
Future, you're asking a very difficult question because future puts marriage, career, finance, children,
her
health.
studies. Only her studies future. Nothing else. Her studies.
So right, she's an Aries ascendant. Her Mars is actually very well placed. Mars is good in the 5th house. This is a strong placement. What does she want to study?
She's doing manufacturing right now. She's manufacturing engineering. She's just completing that. She wants to go for further studies, masters and all that.
She absolutely will go for further studies. There's nothing in this chart that says no. Her Jupiter, which is Lord of Research, 9th house, is actually exalted in the 4th house. It's a good chart. Let her study. She may not go all the way up to a PhD or something. Actually, she could, but it's difficult. Masters is easy for her. I'm not worried. And the Dasha is also going on right now for Ascendant Lord. So she'll be fine. This is a good chart.
Okay. And in Hindi, what Rashi it comes to if he speaks in Hindi? But Harry sentiment.
What do you mean?
What they call it. In Hindi, means my mother wants to know. I want to tell her in Hindi what her Rashi is. She always keep on asking.
Mesh Rashi.
Mesh
Rashi.
Mesh. Okay. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Mesh. Okay. Thank you.
Bye. So.
Yeah, the caller whose voice was not clear has called again. Can we take the call?
Yes, sure.
Hello. Thanks for holding. Go ahead with your details.
Hi. I just wanted to know what my ascendant for my daughter is, and I also wanted to see what field will she take up.
What is your daughter's date of birth?
26th of May, 2007. And
May 26, 2007.
Correct.
Time of birth?
Time of birth is 1920 hours.
1920 hours. Okay. And place of birth?
Walnut Creek, California. So we have to use PDT, right? So most likely, I think she's coming in between Libra and...
Give me 1 second. So you want to know her ascendant, right?
Yeah, I think it is more in most places. I think I'm seeing it as Scorpio ascendant, but in some places it says as Libra.
Your daughter's ascendant is at 0 degrees. It is right at the border of Libra and Aries. So
okay,
if you're telling me the time is 7:20, we will put her as Scorpio. If she's born at, a little different time, though it will become difficult for us. What do you think is her actual birth time?
7:20, I'm pretty sure, 100%.
If it is 7:10, she is going to be Libra. If it is 7:20, she's going to be Scorpio.
7:20, perfect.
Okay. But there is something you have to understand. When we study astrology, and the chart is so close to being borderline, then we don't study directly from the house. We study directly from the Bhavachalit, which means we put the house starting, the house mid at 0 degrees. So in your daughter's chart, Jupiter is at 22 degrees, which is 22 degrees from the ascendant, right? Normally, we would say that Jupiter is in Scorpio. But in your daughter's case, since ascendant is at 0, that Jupiter will be pushed into Sagittarius. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Okay.
So reading this chart becomes a little different. What happens is we have to first sit with you and ask you lots of questions to confirm if this is the time. And if it is the time, then we start. So her Jupiter will give results of the first house and the second house, not just the first. थोड़ा tricky हो जाता है. It becomes little more intense. Now it's very hard to say what field she will study just based on this. Very hard. But
So
if Saturn,
she's interested mostly in research kind of activities in the medicine industry. I think that's where her mind is.
it's a highly possible thing because her moon is in the 11th house, which does symbolize medicine. Saturn is in the 9th, which always symbolizes research. When the third lord especially goes in the 8th, it becomes a research-based chart. So it's a good possibility she can do that. And Tasha is also running of Rahu Saturn, which basically implies research. So she's young, she's only 17, but that Dasha is not going to end for at least another 3 years. So she can do that. Biotech, that kind of research will be great for her. But challenging to say because I have less time here, you know?
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you so much for your call. So
I want to see how far we get today on today's
Yeah.
show because when
Yeah,
I
no,
did the show,
actually, the callers started calling even before the hour. So I had to take quick calls. And
I
people who are
understand.
people who
No,
are
no, no.
trying to call us right now, we will take your call after some time. So do call us back in 5-10 minutes. So
Yeah,
let's start with the topic which we picked for today. We're going to talk about Mercury, right?
Mercury is Buddha. Now, Vedika, do you remember what I said about Mercury sometime back?
How much time back?
See, Mercury is the prince, remember?
Oh yes, I remember the relationship
So,
thing. Yes.
so think of the prince when you're thinking of Mercury. Just think of a prince. What characteristics does prince have? That will tell you the characteristics of Mercury. First of all, prince always has an attractive physique.
Right.
He's always a good speaker. He's fond of jokes and he's got a good sense of humor. Start thinking prince. जो prince होते हैं पुराने जमाने के kings, their kids were all well built, they well trained. The problem is the company they keep. If they're in good company, they become smart. If they're in bad company, they become bad. Same with Mercury. If Mercury is close to a negative planet, it starts exhibiting those characteristics. He has no identity of his own, unfortunately.
Oh.
Okay. Mercury is almost always close to the sun. It's the closest planet. He's never more than 28 degrees away. ये planet साल में 3 बार retrograde जाता है. We like Mercury to be in the first house. It gets directional strength. Mercury is associated with learning. You want to send your kids to school. Same way the king wants to send the prince to school. Higher education, learning. It's Mercury. The ability to speak, how well you speak, is Mercury. Mercury is important planet for business. There are many people who get confused. काम करे कि business करे?
Right.
That is your Mercury. If your Mercury is very strong, you're going to start your business right away. Whether your sun, which is your ability to start a business, is good or bad, a business karoge. Life is about trying to make progress, whether it is working for someone or doing your own business, but Mercury comes in there. I have a friend who has an MBA from Purdue, and now he is back in India writing storybooks for children. Now you'll wonder
Interesting.
why. Yes. You can Google him up. He happens to have a very strong Mercury, which is ruling the third house, which is the house of your interest, hobbies. And that Mercury has somehow merged with the fifth house, house of children.
Oh,
right?
so that's why children's book.
Children's book and Venus, which is giving him pleasure in writing those books. So he writes books for kids. Anybody who is an author, an actor, a public speaker, an RJ will have to have a strong Mercury. You cannot speak if you don't have a strong Mercury. Mercury rules business. Yes. Mercury rules speech. Yes. Mercury rules your intellect. Mercury, if you have a strong Mercury, you're going to have all of these. Sab hoga aapke paas. And you're also going to have the desire to travel the world. Mercury, education ka bhi planet hai. You are probably very well read because your Mercury is strong. I can tell just by talking to you, right? Uh, we can also say that it is the most flexible planet, and iski placement बहुत ही important होती है. Mercury owns two signs, Virgo and Gemini. When
Mm-hmm.
he's in these two signs, he becomes very strong. But when he's in Pisces, he becomes weak. The question is why? Pisces is the last zodiac sign.
Okay.
It's like your foot. Mercury intellect होता है, हम उसको brain कहते हैं. When
Hmm.
Mercury goes into the foot, we say इसकी अक्ल तो इसके घुटनों में है.
Right.
That is why
Okay.
Mercury doesn't do well in the sign of Pisces. It's all
Pisces.
logical, right?
Hmm. Makes
Mercury
sense. Yes.
rules your skin, right? It rules your nervous system. So skin diseases are caused by Mercury. It's a good planet overall. अगर आपके chart में Mercury strong है, you can do business. If Mercury is weak, you can try making it strong. You cannot, you know, you must have that desire. There is something called maturation age of planets. Every
Hmm.
planet matures at a certain age. Mercury matures at 32. That means many
So
people,
you mean when the person is 32 years old?
yes, when you're 32 years old, your Mercury becomes.
Matures. Mm-hmm.
अगर आपकी Mercury दशा पहले आ गई, before 32, you're still immature. You're not going to get the benefits of that dasha.
Oh,
It's always nice to get that dasha when the planet is mature. So
okay.
look at some successful people who started and sold businesses. You can say 32, around 32 is when they started or they sold because their Mercury dasha kicked in and the planet was mature. So if you have a strong Mercury, but आपकी दशा नहीं आई, it is okay. But अगर दशा आके चली गई और Mercury strong था, it hadn't benefited you. See,
Hmm.
you have to know these things. It's
Oh
very
my
important.
God, but this is like layered up things, right? Not just अच्छी दशा आना, but mature state पे भी आना, and you reading all these things like such fine lines. This is really complicated.
But God didn't make it that easy for us, na?
Right.
अगर easy होता, life would be wonderful. You know,
और
in
इजी
astrology,
इजी होता तो 25 साल की मेहनत के बाद जब चीजें इतनी क्लियर हो रही हैं जहां आप लोगों की हेल्प कर सकते हैं एंड वी आर रियली प्रिविलेज्ड दैट यू आर राइट हियर विद अस सो लेट मी
it,
रिमाइंड लिसनर्स दैट डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं द साकेत भाटिया एस्ट्रोलॉजी शो सुन रहे हैं आप
in astrology, we have good planets and bad planets. Saturn is considered a bad planet, but he gives you property. He gives you
राइट
the ability to work hard, but वो disease भी देता है. अगर
वो
Saturn
बैलेंस्ड है सब चीज का किसी
balanced,
अच्छा भी है बुरा भी है
अगर Saturn आपकी कुंडली में is a good planet and exalted, you'll get lots of property. You'll get the ability to work hard. लेकिन अगर Saturn negative planet है आपकी कुंडली में and he is debilitated, he is going to cause havoc. So we did a math calculation on all the possibilities of planet. There
ओके
are multiple possibilities. Exaltation, sitting in his own house, friend's house, enemy house. ये सारे calculation करके हमने points देखे, and to our surprise, the positives far outweigh the negatives, which means life is actually much better than you expect and imagine. You should stop complaining about the negative aspects. Life is really good. Wonderful hai. The number of good planets and the dashas far outweigh the bad planets and the dashas. Yes,
wonderful that's really great to hear
by
because
50%.
by 50%. Okay. That's good. Fair share of percentage we have for good
Yes.
goodness in our life. So after that, I would like to know कि Mercury किसका कारक है?
Karak is significator, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it is you or me or listeners या जिन्होंने call किया,
जी.
हमारे कारक वही हैं. It's all the same. Mercury is always the karak of the second house. He is the karak of the fifth house. He is the karak of the 10th house. In the second house, he is responsible for intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
speech. In the fifth house, he is responsible for business, trade, math, scientific learning. He is responsible for publishing, printing, teaching. In the 10th house, he is responsible for your career, how good you're going to be with your boss, with people below you, How good are you going to be managing people? ये सब Mercury से आता है. These three things, three कारक घरों के. So if you're having issues anywhere, if you have a person who's not studying very well or who's intelligent but he's not putting in the hard work, it is Mercury. जितने लोग stutter करते हैं, stammer करते हैं, Mercury. Anybody who is unfortunately deaf, dumb, mute, it is Mercury. This planet does that. If you have, I've told you, paralysis, it's the veins of, it's the spinal cord.
Right.
Saturn, Rahu, Mercury. Skin condition, Mercury.
Oh.
I think it was last week, I had some lady come in who had Saturn, Ketu, and Mercury all aspecting certain house. She had skin cancer. So this is a possibility that it would happen. It happened. Mercury karak in चीजों का होता है. And Mercury is also a dominant planet in career in most people. Remember.
तो जैसे आपने बोला कि मर्क्यूरी मेनली इट इज योर इंटेलिजेंस, आपका जो करियर एंड योर ग्रोथ वेर एवर लाइक मर्क्यूरी इज सिटिंग डिपेंड्स ऑन दैट. सो जब आप देखते हैं कि somebody हैज़ अ impactful Mercury in their chart, so what would you recommend as a profession or career for them?
Mercury drives a lot of professions. First, business.
Mhm.
If you have a strong Mercury, you must do business. Now, what field you must do it in, that will be governed by other planets. Mercury itself doesn't say ye aapne ye business karna hai ya wo, but in general it's business. You can also do law, because what is a lawyer? He goes to court, he listens to what the other attorney is saying, he immediately takes his notes and spits it out. That fast thinking is Mercury. That fast reaction, that is Mercury. Okay. Mercury is also very good for teachers, travelers. Mercury is good for astrologers. Why? They're able to interpret things, they're able to speak things out. Mercury is also what we see strong for chartered accountants. They're good at math. Mercury is also good with educationists, people that write books, that write poetries. On a side note, most people that work in the postal department, which is considered short distance and long distance transport, they happen to have very strong Mercury. So Mercury के अगर लिखने को जाए तो there are so many professions, but in general it is business, law, speaking, public speaking, motivational speakers. These are people that have strong Mercury in the chart.
And you also said that it affects your relationship with your boss. So even if they are in job, they would be successful, right?
Are you asking about yourself?
You said RJs का Mercury strong होता है, मैं अपना ground set कर रही हूँ.
नहीं नहीं. The Mercury is how tactful you will be in your company, na, in your work.
Okay.
Because when you work, you have to be not just hardworking, but you also have to be tactful. By tactful, I mean, how you manage a team and how you
True.
report to people above you. दोनों चीजें चाहिए आपको.
जी.
Like in your profession, how do you deal with us? It's your tact. It's the charm, right? That comes from Mercury, remember.
More than dealing, I learn. I definitely learn from you and all the people I work with. So with that, let me remind listeners also, and this is your chance to learn. If you want to learn anything about your horoscope, if you have any question, आप call कर सकते हैं. Dr. Saket Bhatia is live in the studio with us. You can call us right now. 510-770-1550. That's the studio line number. If you would like to connect with Dr. Bhatia after the show, 408-639-5300 is the number you can connect with him directly for an appointment. Once again, the number is 408-639-5300. वेबसाइट है उनकी saketbhatia.com और ईमेल कर सकते हैं आप info@saketbhatia.com. But if you have a quick question, the number to call is 510-770-1550. So after that, हमने अभी strong Mercury की बात की है. If the Mercury is weak in a horoscope, तो उसके लिए are there any remedies?
Yes. Mercury, another note is how many people are working in the IT field. Actually, Mercury is a very strong planet for them. Mercury is required for computers. Mars is required for hardware. But modern age, which is today, the modernization is all Mercury. He is a very important planet. So when your Mercury is weak, Many astrologers, and it's been written कि अगर मर्क्यूरी वीक है उसे सुधारने के लिए, स्ट्रांग करने के लिए, we almost always recommend, for example, on a Wednesday, within 2 hours of sunset, because Mercury का day Wednesday होता है, you can donate few things. You can donate sugar, green cloth, green flowers, moong dal, camphor, and turpentine oil. These are good donations to do. Mercury का gemstone होता है emerald. We almost always recommend 5 carat if you want, and quicksilver. ये second या fourth finger पे पहन सकते हो, right hand पे. But again, it's not a good idea to just say, okay, I think my Mercury is weak, let me do one of those things. You don't need to. First, make sure आपका Mercury genuinely weak है. By a weak Mercury, we mean its overall strength is weak. Dasha आई है, so you have to make it strong. See, you can never wear a gemstone or do remedies for planets which have enmity to the ascendant lord. Right? So you must be careful. We work very closely with people, businessmen especially, in trying to channel the planet energies जब दशा आती है. For example, आपका Saturn अगर बुरा planet है आपकी कुंडली में, then what we tell you is, जब Saturn की दशा आती है, you can still wear it. Make sure you get the best benefit, then take it off. You can wear something else. या किसी और चीज को हम strong कर सकते हैं. Right?
I heard some 5 carat emerald. Sorry, I was busy taking calls. But ऐसा Mercury, like, do you think these, like, that's my question. Like, these carats, how does that is relative to the dasha? Like, कितना carat का क्या stone you have to wear?
ये हमने नहीं लिखा है.
No, but
This is all
is this
written
a
in the
is
Rig
this a
Veda.
proportional formula, something like that? Like
It used
how
to be.
intense your dasha is?
It used to be, but it's miscalculated.
Oh,
Generally, I always tell people, if you're living in a house जिसकी दीवार brick की बनी है, why you want to add concrete on it? There's no need, right?
okay,
In
that
that
way.
case, learn to accept what you have, and let's build something better out of it. If I tell you आपकी Mercury दशा आई है, or it's coming, and you can make the best out of it, then you can plan in advance. But if you know कि दशा आपकी आई है लेकिन planet weak है, right, then we can help you. So you asking me typically depends on body weight, it depends on clarity of a stone, or depends on, some people don't want to do that, which is fine. You go to a temple, you can donate something, you go to a gurdwara, jahan bhi aapko jana hai, you can do those things. I like donating food items just because they are more useful for humans.
Right.
I think donate something which will make somebody happy. अगर कुछ नहीं आता, then just donate to mankind, humanity. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't always
Absolutely.
think on the end result. Think on what good it's going to do for people in general.
Absolutely. Now let's get to the calls I was taking. Let's not make
Sure.
them wait more. Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia. Go ahead with your details.
Hi, this is Sherry. Dr. Bhatia, I've been listening to your show since very long. It's a privilege for me to speak to you on air. So my question is, my date of birth, first of all, is 22 July 1989. Time is 3:15 p.m. Place of birth is Amravati, Maharashtra in India.
You'll have to go just a little slower. Generally,
Yeah.
people who call, they go so fast. मेरा brain इतना fast नहीं चलता अभी.
Sorry about that. It's 22 July.
No, वो इतना slow भी नहीं है.
Nine.
वो मिल गया. 22 July 1989, India, Maharashtra, Amravati.
Amravati. What's the time of birth?
It's 3:15 p.m.
And what was your name?
Sherry.
Sherry. That's a nice name. So, Miss Sherry, what can we do for you?
So my question is, I'm doing job currently. You're talking about Mercury. I wanted to understand. I've been wanting to do business, but it's a hellback that it is not good for me. So I wanted to understand if you see there's a good chance and if I could take that leap of faith.
Who told you business is not good for you? Just curious.
I think just environment.
Environment. So nobody told you, ना? आपने खुद assume कर लिया, right?
No, it's environment, like people around me.
अच्छा, तो people की छोड़िए. Focus on your chart. You're a Scorpio ascendant, right? आपका
Okay.
ascendant 13 degrees पे है. Okay. Your
Mm-hmm.
moon is very well placed in the 4th house. Directional strength आता है उसको. Your Mercury
Okay.
happens to be in the 9th house. अभी हम शो में बोलने वाले थे what Mercury in the 9th house is. Unfortunately, we barely get anywhere in these shows. शो स्टार्ट करते हैं, कॉल्स आ जाते हैं. Mercury in the 9th house typically means interest in religion, philosophy, politics, foreign culture, study, virtuous acts. So it's a good sign. It's a good placement. Okay. Mercury also sits in your case in the sign of Cancer. That
Mm-hmm.
makes you have retentive memory, right? But it also clearly says susceptible to what others think.
Hmm.
Okay. You have a debilitated Mars. Mars जो debilitated हो जाता है, it will hurt the house it sits in and the planets that sit within. Planet बैठा है Mercury, planet बैठा है Sun. Sun is confidence and Mercury is business. ये debilitate हो गए, but they're very strong. Don't hold back. Start. Do something. अब Mercury की दशा चल रही है आपकी. Right now you're going through Mercury Venus dasha. Mercury Venus are two houses away, so it's considered neutral. Mercury represents in this kundali gains and, well, a break in profession, which is good. Venus in your kundali represents business partnership and something foreign. Go do something.
Hmm.
If you miss this opportunity, the next opportunity comes 20. अब से लेके 2027 January तक you should be good to go. If you want more, call us. We can see, we can talk to you what you can do, what possibilities are there. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
And you've been listening for weeks, you said, right? Long time. Was she
I
hung
think
up?
I think the call got dropped. Let's take another caller.
Sure.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia.
Record.
Hello.
Can you lower the radio volume in the background, please?
Yeah, I just shut up. Okay.
Yeah. You're on
Hello.
air with Dr.
Good
Saket Bhatia.
Yes, I have a business question to ask. My name is Chandrakant. I'm speaking from Stockton, California.
Yeah, hi, Chandrakant. What is your date of birth?
02/01/1952.
02/01.
Huh.
1952. February 1st, 1952. You're born Friday. What is your time of birth?
It looks like my mom told me it was lunchtime, means noon. 12 o'clock.
दोपहर के 12 बजे. Okay.
Uh,
And what is your place of birth?
Mumbai, India.
Okay. And what are your questions?
It's a business related. I'm trying. I got a shop. I'm 72 and I have a dry cleaning business for the last 35 years.
Okay.
Now I'm trying to sell this business to my brother-in-law, but for some odd reason, it's just like delayed almost like 2 years, and he's still not making up his mind. He's getting very nervous. So, what do you think? Is it something I can correct my planetary position so, things get in place? Because I want to retire. I've been for 35 years. I'm working.
So you're running a Jupiter. Your chart is an Aries ascendant. Okay. Do you own this
Pardon me?
business? You own this
Yes,
business?
I do. Yes, I own the business, but it's normally in California it's always on a lease. Nobody gives you.
No, I
up-
understand. I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. You have Sun Mercury conjunct in the 10th house, right? Mercury is your own business, Sun your own possibility. That house of business is run by Saturn. That dasha started November 2022. That dasha ends 2025 May. Uske baad you'll have Jupiter Mercury dasha. So I can safely say you're going to sell the business. You're probably going to sell it before May of next year. Dasha to aa gayi. If you don't sell it before, but my suggestion, don't sell it yet. Try selling it next year. After May, you'll make more money.
Make more money if I sell after. I mean, I get more goodwill, or
Yes, you will get more goodwill if you sell after May. It's just the dasha is better then.
May 2025.
Yeah. If you want, call us. We can guide you more. We can explain why we are saying that, how we are saying that. There are some things you can understand. Okay.
Okay. Am I allowed to ask second question or just one only right now?
No, sir. Actually, there are callers waiting. I'm sorry.
Waiting.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Something
Thank you
about
so
my
much.
health. I'll call next week. Thank you again. Thanks, sir. Thank you.
और मे बी आप डॉक्टर भाटिया को डायरेक्टली कॉल कर सकते हैं टू कॉल हिम 408-639-5300 दैट्स हिज नंबर वंस अगेन 408-639-5300 or just look for his website saketbhatia.com where you'll get all the information. We have one more caller waiting and he has requested कि हम हिंदी में बात कर सकते हैं क्या?
ठीक है, कोशिश करते हैं, जितना कर सकते हैं
हेलो
करेंगे।
हाँ जी,
जी, आप ऑन एयर हैं डॉक्टर भाटिया के साथ, बताइए।
आपको डेट ऑफ बर्थ चाहिए?
हाँ जी।
पहले तो नाम बता दीजिए।
बलदेव सिंह।
मिस्टर सिंह, आपकी डेट ऑफ बर्थ क्या है?
13 अप्रैल 1964।
13 अप्रैल 1964।
हाँ जी।
अच्छा, प्लेस ऑफ बर्थ क्या है आपका?
जलंधर।
जगह तो बहुत अच्छी है। टाइम ऑफ बर्थ?
टाइम सुबह के 12 के बाद 12 मिनट एंड 20 सेकंड। 12 के सुबह के।
सुबह के मतलब
12
रात के कि दोपहर के?
12 मिनट एंड 20 सेकंड। जो सुबह हो जाता ना तड़के को, सुबह को।
मतलब is he saying afternoon or early
No,
morning?
he's saying midnight.
Midnight, तो रात के 12 बजे, 12 बज के
12 बज के 12 मिनट एंड 20 सेकंड।
अच्छा, 12 बज के
20
सेकंड्स।
मिडनाइट।
जी।
हाँ, मिल गया। ओके,
हाँ जी।
तो क्या क्वेश्चन है आपका?
जी।
मेरा क्वेश्चन है, लाइफ में तो अच्छा नहीं चल रहा, क्या होने वाला है?
क्या? आई एम सॉरी, रिपीट।
लाइफ में कुछ अच्छा नहीं चल रहा 2-3 साल से, क्या होने वाला है?
वेदिका, कैन यू एक्सप्लेन? क्या मुझे समझ नहीं आया, क्या बोला
ही
उन्होंने?
सेइंग कि लाइफ में कुछ अच्छा नहीं चल रहा है 2-3 साल से, तो आप देख के बताइए कि क्या चल रहा है, क्या होने वाला है।
लाइफ में कुछ अच्छा नहीं चल रहा 2-3 साल से।
जी।
अब पहले देखिए,
लीगल मैटर चल रहा है डिवोर्स का, वो क्या होगा?
देखिए,
हम सीधा बता देते हैं आपको।
नहीं नहीं, सीधा की बात नहीं है। आपका जो मून है, जो चंद्रमा होता है, वो डिबिलिटेटेड है। डिबिलिटेटेड प्लैनेट मतलब वीक हो जाता है। जो प्लैनेट वीक है वो छठे घर में बैठा है। छठे घर मतलब लीगल लॉ सूट होता है। उसकी दशा चल रही है, वो दशा 2027 तक नहीं खत्म होती। अनफॉर्चुनेटली 2027 में दशा चालू होगी डिबिलिटेटेड मार्स की, और प्रॉब्लम देगी थोड़ी सी। तो ये प्लैनेट आपके थोड़े वीक है, मून एंड मार्स दोनों। अभी उसमें हम क्या करें? आपके राहु से शनि तो मूल त्रिकोण में है, तो मैं यही कह सकता हूँ कि अभी मर्क्यूरी मून की दशा चल रही है जो इतनी अच्छी नहीं है। इसके बाद मर्क्यूरी केतु की दशा आएगी जो थोड़ा बेटर होगा आपके लिए दिसंबर में। ओके, फिर मर्क्यूरी वीनस आ जाता है जो एवरेज रहेगा 2025 में। अपनी हेल्थ का ध्यान रखिए, क्योंकि मून जब डिबिलिटेटेड होता है तो मेंटल स्ट्रेस बहुत ज्यादा देखे जाता है।
हाँ जी, मेरा मेन क्वेश्चन ये है, डिवोर्स का केस चल रहा है, वो अभी डेट आने वाली है 2-3 महीने फाइनल, तो क्या होगा जी? ये पूछना था मैंने, ज्यादा नहीं।
फाइनल तो अगर डिवोर्स है तो डिवोर्स हो जाएगा, इसमें ज्यादा हम क्या बोले। आई मीन आई डोंट नो, मुझे नहीं और पता क्या बोल सकते हैं यहाँ पर। लेकिन आप अपने हेल्थ का ध्यान रखिए, क्योंकि शनि डायरेक्ट एस्पेक्ट दे रहा है आपके मून पे जो डिबिलिटेटेड है, जो पहले ही वीक है। मून रिप्रेजेंट्स फ्लो ऑफ ब्लड, मेंटल स्ट्रेस देता है और बहुत बढ़ेगा आपका। थोड़ा ध्यान रखिए इसका। ओके,
ठीक है।
Thank you so much to all the callers who tuned in and who called
we
us.
can take one more if there is time.
Yeah, there are callers. Let me
Ouch.
try taking one more.
एक ले लेते हैं।
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia.
Hello, Dr. Saket Bhatia. I have a question for myself.
Yes, sure. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. What's your name?
My name is Gandhi.
Miss Gandhi. What is your question?
My birth date is 1:29 a.m. March 3rd, 82.
March 3rd, 1982.
And the birth time is 1:29 a.m. and it's in Mumbai.
129. Okay.
And my question is, my current job is thinking of promoting me. Will I get that promotion?
So again, you're born July 3rd, 1982 at 1:29 in the morning.
March 3rd.
March 3rd.
CP.
March 3rd, 1982, right? You're born on Wednesday.
Yes.
So you're asking, will you get promoted or no?
Yes. At my current job.
Okay, you're a Scorpio ascendant. Your Mars and Saturn both are retrograde. जब Saturn retrograde जाता है, it gives delays in finance, delay in everything. दशा चल रही है Jupiter Moon की. Okay.
Okay.
Moon and Jupiter are 8 houses away. So that might create some problem. You could get a promotion, but I doubt if you'll get one before July of this year.
Okay. Okay.
If you wait after July, there is a better likelihood of getting gains. But before July 13th, it's very difficult, just in my opinion. Okay.
Okay.
Nevertheless,
Thank
good luck
you.
to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your call. So we have 5 more minutes in the show.
Right. तो आज हम बात करते हैं थोड़ी सी astrology की, astrologers की, right? We are already talking about Mercury and what Mercury represents. Intellect, reasoning, information processing. Placement of the chart is very important. अब हम बात करते हैं थोड़ी सी और. Just हमने जब ये show start किया था, we said we'll do some myth busting. We said we'll talk about some myths that are taking place. So, as the International Association of Astrology and Numerology, we like to see what other astrologers say. We like to see what they discuss. We like to see. बहुत कुछ लोग astrologers बहुत कुछ करते हैं. There are some self-proclaimed experts जो कहते हैं, we are the only ones who can do this. We are the only ones who have a PhD. We are the only ones who can do astrology and vastu. बहुत होते हैं, बहुत कहते हैं. These claims are wrong. These claims are absolutely ridiculous. Actually, they make us laugh. A quick Google search will show more than 86 registered companies or individuals that can do astrology and vastu in USA. Unregistered has more than 5x that number. So we're talking 500. The number of PhD astrologers who कहते हैं we are the only PhD, that is also incorrect. I personally know more than, I would say, 800 astrologers who have PhD. So remember one thing, astrology is never a business. Astrology is a service. ये एक service होती है. You have to learn to give back to the community by telling people their future is not giving back, by making sure they live a fulfilling, happy life. That is giving back to people. You have to understand, astrology is a very serious thing. You must do the right thing at the right time. अब जिसने call किया, if I don't see any good stuff in their health, I will tell them, that, hey, this is a problem. You must make sure that your life is first under control. Your health has to be under control. Coming and telling people, I am the only one who can do this, or I'm the only one who does that, is just wrong. It's actually amusing, That is what I'm trying to say. बहुत astrologers कहते हैं, whether it is me or whether it is another astrologer, आप किसके पास भी जाओ, पहले एक research कर लो. Go online, search, read about them. You don't buy clothes when you just see one. You do research, you go, you touch, you feel. Same way for an astrologer. जाइए, numerologist हो, vastu हो, life coach हो, पढ़िए. See what they're doing, what their background is, what people say about them. Go read that. It is very important. हमने ये भी कहा था कि astrology is all about possibilities. It is not about what I say. It is what you want to do. भगवान ने आपको इतनी पावर दी है कि आप लाइफ में डिसीजन ले सकते हो. आप गलत डिसीजन लोगे या सही डिसीजन लोगे, वो आपके ऊपर है. Nobody can judge you. You make those decisions. Just don't hurt, don't harm, and don't cause any damage to anybody. That stuff works against you. B.K. Shivani, who I talk to regularly, उन्होंने कहा था कि when you do good deeds, आपके अच्छे कर्म की एक बकेट भरती है. When you do one bad कर्म, वो जो एक कर्म है वो रह जाता है. You can't override that one karam with the 100 good karams. You'll have to pay for it sometime. So the simple thing is, Be happy with what you have. Be content. Don't cause damage and be nice. There's no harm if somebody is better than you. In fact, it is better if somebody is better than you. At least you can look up to them and you can improve yourself. Whether you're in your personal life, your career, your profession, acha kijiye. Making these ridiculous claims don't help. I have never said I am the only PhD astrologer. No, I am not. PhD in astrology actually is not even needed. It is a research. We do research in the institute. हम पढ़ते हैं कि लोगों की health कैसे improve करें. We have database of thousands of charts that we look at. So in closing, I understand time short hai. I want to tell people we didn't get very far. Hopefully next week hum Mercury zyada discuss karenge. And people can understand where their weakness is and how they can improve their life. Whether it is through Mercury or Moon or Sun or Ascendant, it's all about you at the end of the day. Your life matters.
Wonderfully said. And listeners, with that, we are ending today's show, the Saket Bhatia Astrology Show. And I really apologize to all the callers who are trying to reach us right now, but we are out of time. आप डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया को डायरेक्टली कॉल कीजिए and you can reach him directly at 408-639-5300. That's Dr. Saket Bhatia ka direct number. Do call him. You can take an appointment. Or sari information you can get through the website saketbhatia.com. With that, we'll be back next Tuesday, 4 to 5 p.m. Don't forget to tune in. Thank you so much for being on air with us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You are listening to Radio Zindagi. KZD